Hi guys, and welcome back to Farming Simulator. It's the road to 100 million. It's episode 22 and we're here on Kailora Farm. We're going to start off by selling the wood beams and the long planks. We've got a little bit of work to do. As you guys can see, I've got only $4,000. I know I said in between last episode and this episode I would try and make as much money as I can, but the reality is I just can't do many of these contracts. Can't do rock removal, can't do the two hoeing ones because unfortunately we only have the weeder. So I could buy a hoe, but they're expensive. We could do the fertilizing one, but is it really worth it? Because I'd have to spend $2,000 on a new bag of fertilizer, which probably would cost $2,000. So really, I'm only making $2,000, and I couldn't get an AI worker to do it. So maybe that's something I'm doing by myself. The deadwood's fine, but it isn't really worth it either. Only $1,500, and then those other two contracts are square bales. So let's avoid crashing here, but we are just going to have to start selling our produce. So hopefully this will get us about 10, maybe if we're lucky 10k, probably more like 8. But we're in trouble. We've got to make some money back. As I just get to the end of this road here, let me quickly show you guys the finances. We have a loan of $70,000. So we paid a little bit of it last time. But we've got 70k that we need to get done and dusted with, and if we don't get that sorted, then we probably won't be able to make any progress this year. So, a few things coming up. I don't know why everyone's honking at me. Is there anyone? Did you guys hear that? There was definitely a honk, but I can't even see anyone. Few things that we need to consider. One, we are coming up to harvesting season, so there is a lot more oats and cereals in the game this time around. So hopefully that should be pretty good. Is this not the farmer's market? This is the supermarket. I'm so silly. Let's go back over to the farmer's market because the supermarket doesn't accept these, but the farmer's market will. Brilliant. That really distracted me. Wow. There's a lot more of all the AI-owned fields, all the fields that are owned by other people. There's a lot more cereal crops in there, so I'm expecting the months that we can harvest those. So June, July, and August. Maybe even September. Can we harvest anything in September? No. June, July, and August, they should be pretty profitable months for us because this time around we are... Maybe it's this thing that makes a noise. I don't really know. Anyway, they should be fine. So we're at least going to get a lot more use out of our combine and hopefully make some money out of all those things. We've got a silo as well, so we can store them all until we need it for next time. Wait, that's the wrong way. Let's get back out of here. Doop. Excuse my off-road adventures. So that is the situation. It's in May right now. This is the best price for wooden beams. It happens to be one of the worst prices for wooden planks, but we may as well sell them. I need the cash, so I'm expecting, yeah, sort of the better part of 10k here if we can, and that will set us well on our way. So we'll check in with the goats and the warehouses and all the other things that we've got as well, and do a quick little update for you guys. But for the most part, I feel like we're going to be progressing through May pretty quickly to get this done. So 8,700 is not bad, to be honest. And considering, again, that sawmill has pretty much paid for itself at this point with the amount of stuff that we've put into it and got out of it as well. And it's only taken, it's been less than a year. I think we got it in around September last time, maybe even August. So less than a year, it's paid itself off, and we can start making some money. It's a good way to go. So let me drive back over here, but actually first let's check on all of our machines. And firstly, milk machines, we'll start with them. The goats are good, and their productivity is at 100%. They've got water, they've got 11 litres of goat milk, which is amazing. And just a reminder, we have got, I think it's something like 43 goats or something. Yeah, 43 goats. Chickens are going well as well. They're a little bit sort of, I don't know what to do with them. I think when I get the money, and probably towards the end of this year, I'm going to sell the current chicken coop. Because it's over in the area where we have all the fields and stuff. So if I just go over here, obviously you guys know the chicken pasture is over here. I think I'm going to sell this, and I can definitely see this area becoming all arable stuff and moving all the animals to down there. Because imagine we sell this, we could get another warehouse on both sides here. We could get another 2 warehouses if we're lucky. Maybe we cut back the canola field a little bit by sort of a couple of meters. Maybe just along here, and we could expand this yard, put 2 more warehouses in here, and basically double down on this area. and it wouldn't cost us much more investment to do that. So all up, it'd probably be 100 grand to get the chickens replaced and the 2 warehouses, which sounds like a lot, especially when we're 70k in debt, but I feel like it's doable for now. So yeah, probably something to look forward to. We've got just under 5,000 litres of wheat. What's this? This is a straw bale. We'll just keep it here for now because I don't really know what to do with it instead. But yeah, that's the situation. So let me go back, and we're going to do this wood transportation contract, which I actually think is at field number 1. Yes, it is. I'm going to head over there, do a wood transportation contract, and we'll probably come back in June. I think I'm going to skip through May. It just doesn't seem worthwhile being in this month if I can't do anything in it. So probably going to skip through it, and we'll be back hopefully with a bit more money in the bank. 13k is alright, but I'd like to get closer to 70 so we can pay it all back before we need to start doing our harvesting. So that's it, and yeah, let me go do some wood transportation and I'll be back shortly. Ladies and gents, we are back. It's going to be June when we wake up, and I thought it was raining over the night, but it wasn't. We've paid some loan interest, $233, and paid a few other taxes and things like that. But let's check in on the crop calendar first. June means the barley is going to be ready, and hopefully that means there's a few more contracts of barley that are ready to go. We did the grass as well. Now let's check the grass, because this should be back to the first growth stage. As on here, yes it is. It's growing 50%, so we need to fertilize this grass as well, so that we get a nice high yield. So we'll need to do both sides as well. This looks like a bit that I forgot to go, or maybe this is a weed. I don't really know. But yeah, we're in June. So first things first, I am very curious to see if there's any. Oh, there's a baling contract. A round baling contract. Very nice. That looks like something that I can do off camera. A couple of ploughing contracts, a hoeing contract for field 18. But there's no, right now, there's no barley harvesting contract. So I did want to go onto here and scroll through. Now the barley is the white fields. Let's see. So field 56, that'll be ready. Field 44, field 66. All of the, I mean, that's a good 4 or 5 fields. These should all be ready to go. This barley's ready to harvest. This barley should be ready to harvest. Yeah, they're all going to be ready to harvest. So I'm expecting them to come up in here. Maybe once I do a couple of contracts, they should pop up. And yeah, we'll be looking to get some barley done in this month. Now, let's head back over to our farm. Now, we've only got canola. So the canola is still growing, and then we've got the oats and the wheat down at the other farm. But it's kind of a bit of a maze when you spawn in here. Look at this. Just in the middle of my canola field running around. So, a few tasks to get done, and hopefully we get a bit of time in the old combine as well this month. I'm looking forward to getting that done. So, let me set up a few of these workers to do some contracts. I reckon we're going to get this plow in use as well. How have I ever possibly done this without damaging the crops? I'm going to have to pick up from here. Anyway, sorry, that's just my intrusive thoughts winning, shining through, and we've got some produce as well. But remember, we're not going to be selling any more of the produce until January, no matter what happens. So, we might need some water in the lettuce building. This looks pretty big. It's already got 4 tubs of lettuce though, ready to go. So, that's the plan. I know it's a bit of a sort of stop-start episode, but this is what happens when I'm just waiting to do stuff in between. So I'll go set up those workers to do some contracts, and I will be back with you once we manage to do some meaningful work ourselves. We're up to $20,000 nearly. Okay, we are back. We've got the worker ploughing field number 66, and I thought just for a change, I would do some baling contracts. This is actually the second baling contract. There was another one that popped up earlier. I just forgot to sort of do it on camera, but it was over down, I think it was field 86 or something, one of the grass fields down there. So yeah, we're going alright with this. We're putting it to good use, and we're making our money back. Remember, this did cost $60,000, but we've made quite a lot of bales already for our own personal use. I think we've got 6 straw, it's not straw, is it? It's hay. 6 hay bales, and that'll be for the goats to eat through winter, which will be good. And then I think we've got 8 silage bales, which will be hopefully for the cows once we, hopefully in the second part of the year, save up enough money, and we'll be able to get some cows onto the farm as well. So this obviously isn't our land, so we're just literally making use of the baler, but why not? It's not the end of the world. The pickup was already down. Sorry, I'm just getting used to the controls. I've got to hit Y to get rid of the bale and V to lower and lift the pickup. But I remember doing this field a lot in the early days, actually, when we were only relying on the contract income. And yeah, we would do this one a lot to get started. I remember cutting it many times, especially this triangular bit in the corner was always a real sort of burden to try and get right before I sort of had a better grasp on how to manage things within the game. It was a bit tricky to get this done, but seeing as we're here now, this looks like it's pretty easy. So I was also looking before, let me just stick this on cruise control real quick. I wonder if it'll stay, but I was looking before, barley can also be harvested in July, so it might be that there's no barley contracts this month, they might all be next month. So if that's the case, then I might consider skipping through June as well, just to get through, so that we can actually get to the good bit of the year. I feel like the real important months are sort of June, July, August, maybe September, and then September quietens down a little bit, and October, November are good for selling stuff as well, as I've just totally ignored the fact that my baler is full. Yeah, obviously we've got all the produce and stuff that sells in November with the eggs, and then January now for the rest of the stuff that we have. But it's been a pretty eventful winter, to be fair. For the first time, Colora Farms had a lot of activity through the winter, and we've actually had a positive cash flow. So now that we're getting through to the summer months, we've done spring, now we're getting through the summer. Hopefully summer is our most profitable time. But I just want to thank you guys for all your support and all your comments. Really appreciate them. It's probably not an easy task to watch someone who is quite new to the game. So for all of you guys that are giving me hints and suggestions in the comments, I read them all. I can't always action them because often I'm sort of a couple of episodes ahead of where you guys are at in YouTube. But yeah, I appreciate the support, and I'm taking everything on board, and we know for next time how to do it all. So one of the things that I think is probably next year's purchase is I think it's time to get a telehandler. Now this is where I probably need you guys' help again. I'm thinking of getting a telehandler to be able to move all the things that we're going to have. So particularly I struggle with using the John Deere with the front loader. I struggle to use that when it comes to moving all the warehouse goods like the produce. It's been a bit of a pain to move the bales and the wooden beams and planks as well. So they're two things that I think a telehandler would be really helpful for. Or is it better to get one of the other sort of items in the game? I'm not really sure. Maybe a skid steer. Like we could get a skid steer. I don't really know what the use of a skid steer is. Skid steer loaders used to stack and load various goods. I guess we could get one of them. They're pretty cheap. Or is it worth getting a forklift? I don't really know. A forklift would be good, but I think a telehandler in general, although they are a bit expensive, it would also mean I could use them for a lot of the forestry contracts, and I could sort of free up the John Deere a little bit. And I feel like with a bit more horsepower and a better tool, I'd be able to do a lot of the wood transportation contracts a bit easier because they're so time consuming. And some of you guys have left comments telling me to like turn up my mouse sensitivity and stuff. Trust me, it's at max. I just can't make it work. So maybe a year 3 upgrade, or I guess it would be year 4 by then. A year 4 upgrade would probably be to get the Manitou, which I think is the cheapest telehandler, and of course we'd have to save up enough money to get all that to happen. So along with the cows, because obviously we want the cows, and we want all of the improving yield equipment that we need, we still need the roller, and it was one other thing, the lime, I think it was the lime spreader as well. We still need them because our fields are quite desperate for lime, and I'm probably going to need to do that soon anyway. So yeah, there's a few things to save up for in the long run, but hopefully short term we can get enough money from all of our farming activities that we currently have going on to be able to finance the rest of the year. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll see how it goes, but let's finish up here. This should be the last bale now as I go and get all this done and dusted. It's pretty fun using this machine, to be honest, but yeah, we're nearly there, 96%, and we'll get this done. I wish we could use these bales to sort of feed our animals and we could profit from them, but obviously that doesn't make sense because we're getting paid to bale them, so obviously the owner of this field wants to use them for their own purposes, so that would make sense. But anyway, we are done, and I can't drop it off. I'm pressing Y and I can't unload it, so in theory we should be able to keep all the hay that we just collected, or the straw, sorry, and we nearly can. I think it was 3,000 litres. We dropped down to 2,600, but it's still not bad at all. Alright, what's next? Let's find something else to do. Okay, so I found a little contract to do. It's quite close here. It's just the Telegrass one on field number 80. So I actually have quite an important decision to make, and this is where you guys can sort of contribute to the future of the farm because I don't know what I'm doing, so I always need your help. First thing we have to decide between is, and this is why actually I was over here, let's just go over to the factory. So we have, coming up, we have a lot of, what's this, canola? We've got some canola, we've got some wheat, and we've got some oats. So we've got a lot of cereals. So two things we could do. One, we could get the cereal factory. So this will turn all of our oats and stuff into, cereals. So I'm sure there's a cheaper one than the 241. For the sake of money, let's just be realistic and go down here. Not the bakery, not the cement factory, not the... Is it the grain mill? Oh, maybe it's the grain mill. Yep, sorry. This is what we're after, the grain mill. So we could get one of them. That'll make flour and all that sort of stuff. That's what I was talking about. So I think those are all the things that we're going to have. It looks like it. I don't know their icons off by heart. So one decision is we could get the grain mill. The other decision we can make is we could get the oil mill. Or I could forsake both of them and just sell the items as they are, and we could save up a bit more cash and get the dairy. And when I say save up a bit more, they are the same price. Do we need to get the dairy? And do we go down the route of cow? So what would be the most efficient? I feel like we probably have more use for the cereal, and I want to say it right because I just made a mistake before. It's not the cereal factory, is it? It's the grain mill or the oil mill. Both of those. That one doesn't take canola though. Yeah. The grain mill doesn't take canola. So the grain mill would be for the wheat and the oats. This one would be for the canola only. So they don't take the same thing. So I could, yeah, that's what I mean. We're splitting how efficient the farm's going to be. So could you guys let me know what you think we should do? We could either go oil mill, we could go grain mill, or we could save up enough for the dairy. And that is where my head's at. So I actually need that menu to decide what to do. Turn on the tether with B. Yeah, let's turn it on. And then let's lower the tether with V. There it is. Alright, I do have access to this land because I'm doing a contract for it. Let's dry some grass. Perfect. It does 2 rows at a time, which is pretty good. Ignore the little curve at the start. But yeah, I think that's the future of the farm. So let's discuss. Obviously, if I get the dairy, I would probably double down on the animals and invest in some cows as well. We do have silage now. So by the time winter comes around, we'll have probably stacked up enough on silage to be able to afford and maintain the herd of cows. I don't know if it's a herd or a flock or whatever. But so that would be something that we could take care of quite easily. Or we could invest in, yeah, all the crops that we already have. So canola is obviously going to be the highest amount of grain that we get, the highest amount of literage. So do we follow that logic and get an oil mill because we can make a lot of canola oil and then sell the canola oil later down the track? Or do we go with the other option, which is obviously the grain mill, and turn all of our wheat and our oats into flour on the basis that there are 2 fields of wheat and oats and only 1 field of canola, despite the fact that it's bigger. So, and we also have some wheat in the silo as well that we can use for the same purpose. So all of those things are just too hard to consider for me. If it comes down to it, I will obviously make a decision. It probably is not going to be the most well-informed one, which is why I need you guys' help. So let me know in the comments what you think, what the direction of the farm should be, and I look forward to reading them all between now and the next episode. And I just want to take this time again to say thank you guys for your support. It's really appreciated. It's much more enjoyable and fun for me to know that you guys are enjoying the videos along with me at home. So yeah, the road to 100 million is obviously going to take some time, but I feel like once we crack our first million, it actually shouldn't be that much harder. It's just right now we're deciding for the future of the farm. So I'm aiming to sort of have it finished maybe within 20 years. I think within 20 years could be enough time to get 100 million, although I'm not sure. That's sort of just a rough ballpark, but obviously we're just sort of midway through year 3 right now. So that is the plan. But anyway, we finished this contract. That was all the little bits and bobs that I was going to ask about. You need to unfold the tool. No, I need to fold the tool up. So let's claim the money from this contract, and I don't have any more to do. honestly, it's a bit of a slow month. That's a square bale contract, so I can't do it. No use doing the deadwood because it doesn't give me anything, and I just go and cut down trees for no reason. I could probably do the hoeing one. I guess I would do the hoeing one, seeing as it's the only other one left to do. But I've also got that wood transportation one, so I'll probably get this guy to do the hoeing contract as a worker, and then when the ploughing is finished up, I will do the wood transportation contract that I've already accepted, and that's probably going to be it for this episode. So a whole lot of nothing. I feel like we didn't achieve half the things that I wanted to achieve, simply because there's no barley. I did plan on using the combine harvester a lot this month, but there's just not enough barley to be seen. Oh, don't forget, I also need to fertilize. I might do that as well. But I won't have you guys with me for that because we hung around here a lot last episode doing all the cutting and mowing and baling and all that. So probably no use doing that again. But let's see, solid fertilizer. I might just go and do that real quick off camera. So I'll be back for a little time lapse with you guys, and then we'll call it a day there. So back in a sec. Guys, another day, another failure for me. That hoeing mission, it's called a contract, I called it a mission. That hoeing transport, oh my goodness, that hoeing contract, we did not have the right material for. So there was already something going on in there that meant I couldn't use my machine that we have, so I had to cancel it. And this is the last contract I'm doing for this day, so almost in frustration. This month is going to come to an end pretty shortly, but I will leave you guys with one final time lapse of the wood transportation contract that we've got going on here. But just want to once again say thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and are enjoying the series. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below that we talked about earlier on in the video, and what we should do moving forwards. And yeah, other than that, I will catch you guys in the next episode. So we'll see you then. Bye for now.